Right, hello everyone. Welcome back to another video. It's been 2 weeks since I released my last video, and just to explain the break a little, the last 2 weeks I've been just getting everything set up to start releasing my poetry videos, and I've released my first poem on TikTok and Instagram. I'll try and link it somewhere in my bio just in case anyone hasn't got direct access. But yeah, the last 2 weeks I've just been working on that and just preparing myself, to be honest, mentally. I know that in the last video I said I've overcome that fear of what people will say and what people will think, but I've actually been very nervous as well over the last 2 weeks, just getting my videos out on like TikTok and Instagram. I think because a lot more people have access to it, so it opens up the opportunity for more opinions. But yeah, yesterday I was with one of my cousins. He knows who he is. Thank you very much. And yeah, just having someone there sometimes can help you get over the line. So I'm very glad to have done it, to have released my first poem. And again, it's not as scary as you think, honestly. And just before I started to record this video, somebody messaged me and they said that they'd seen my first video and that they've been wanting to get into social media for years. I'm not going to say any names, but brother, if you are watching, just do it. Honestly, there is nothing holding us back except ourselves. So, you know who you are. I'm not going to say your name, but just do it, brother. And I promise you, it's not as scary as you think. And I believe in you. I know you personally. You've got the personality to do it. So just do it. And then you'll start, once you've taken that first step, you'll think, why did it take so long? And that applies to anyone who has anything that they want to do. But anyway, I have, is it diverged or diverted? I don't know what the right word is, but I have diverged from the initial point of this video, which is to discuss my poem. So the title, as you can see from the title of the video, the first poem that I've released is called The Task. And the poem itself is essentially talking about purpose. And going forward, what the formula that I've had in mind for these videos is to, once I've released a poem or a series of poems, is to discuss them, discuss the story behind it, the inspiration behind it, and maybe discuss the poem a little bit, depending. But with the poem, I don't want to go into too much detail with discussing it because I feel like everybody, like anyone, some like 10 different people can read the same poem and gain 10 different perspectives from it. So you might have gained a perspective from it that may be helpful to you. So I don't want to collude that too much. And just one final thing before I start as well, I would just like to say a massive thank you to everybody who is supporting me. That includes my family, my friends, a lot of my little cousins as well. They all know who they are, and everyone's support means a lot to me. And a couple of months ago, one of my friends said to me that you've always had a big support network around you, and I had never realized it really up until when it comes to moments like this, moments of taking a courageous step in life. That is when I can see that I have always, in fact, had a very supportive network around me. So thank you to everybody. Thank you to everybody who is liking, messaging, commenting. But thank you more for your time and your energy that you give, because that's that's really what we offer to each other on the deeper aspect of it, on the deeper level of it, the deepest level of it all. It's our time and energy that we are giving to each other. So thank you very much. Right, to get to it, I do have a tendency to divert as well, to just go on a tangent sometimes, but um, yeah, I'll try my best to keep focused. So the task was written in around April 2025, and I was working at the time. I was working a usual 9 to 5 job, and I've been working 9 to 5s for the last 10 years, so I'm very used to the rhythm of it all. And how the cycle usually goes is on a Monday, I am very excited to go into work because it's the start of the new week and it's just the anticipation of what lies ahead. And what would usually happen is on the Monday, I'd get to work. I'm in a very good mood, in a very positive, energetic attitude. And from there, I get to work. And then the first few hours go by, and I think to myself, is this it? Is this what I was excited for? Because most of our jobs are they're absolutely meaningless. To be blunt with you, most of our jobs are absolutely meaningless. And for me, it's the fact that the jobs that I've had, I'm very easily replaceable. I am not valued as an individual, and most of us are not valued as individuals in our jobs. We are valued as a number. We are a number, and we can just be replaced as easily. If I'm a two, and I leave, you're a number three, and you can come in and take my job. It's as easy as that. So that's how usually it's sort of the normal working week cycle would go for me. And this poem was inspired on a Thursday morning. So I was um, I was on the train to work, and one of my friends once said that getting the train to work is the most, I don't want to use the word depressive, maybe repressive, because we are surrounded by people and we are repressing our emotions and we are repressing our true selves. And so yeah, one of my friends said that it's a very, I'm trying to find the right words to get this across. So that being on the train is, I'm going to stick with depressive. It's the most depressive form of commute available. And I sort of agree because I've been getting the train a lot to work, and in the mornings, honestly, it just feels like the start of dread. Like there is a dread setting in, or there is a dread in motion whenever I've been on the train. That's how I feel. And yeah, so this was on a Thursday morning, and I'd gotten sick of the work week, and I was thinking like, why am I doing this? I was just getting these thoughts like, why am I here? Um, I'm wasting my time. In a lot of the jobs that I've had, when I'm sat there at the desk doing my job, and I just think to myself, this task that I'm completing is so meaningless, and I find no joy in it. That I truly feel like I am wasting my life. I feel like I am wasting my time. So these were the thoughts that were coming to me. So, and then I was listening to a song, and I think the song is called Bad Karma, maybe by Axel something, and it's a very good song. And poetry and music go hand in hand because they inspire one another. A lot of my poems are often inspired by music as well. Sometimes I'm listening to a song, it will trigger a certain feeling or an emotion within me, and that will then open my mind up, and it will allow me to write. So I was listening to the song, and the thought came to me: why are you doing this when you clearly have a talent for poetry and you've been wanting to get your poetry out into the world and just try to do something with it? And then immediately that thought, it elevated my state of mind, it elevated my state of consciousness from a from a lower level of thinking to a higher level of thinking. And then suddenly I began to get all these ideas in my mind. My mind ended up going into a complete whirl where, and it's when I'm in that mind frame, that is when I write my best poetry. So I wrote one poem initially, and that poem, I don't think it was that good, I'll be honest, because if it was good, I would have remembered it. So I've written one, But usually when I write a poem, I can tell, I get a feeling that yes, this is the one. Or if I wrote something that's not so good, then I'll know it. I know it's this is not the best that I can do. So I've written the first one. I've gotten off the train. I'm walking to work, walking to my workplace. It's about a 15-minute drive. Sorry, 15-minute walk once I get off at the train. And then from there, two words came into my head: the task. And with my poetry, I write my best poetry when it's instant, when it's sudden. So two words came into my head: the task. And what also came into my head is being assigned a task, and who better to assign as a task than God? Now, of course, I'm speaking metaphorically. This is not in a literal sense. I am speaking metaphorically, but I do feel very deeply within me that my purpose, my current purpose in this world, is to write poetry and to express the deepest parts of myself, which is highlighted. Is highlighted in the poem as well. And so the words, the task, came into my head, and then from there, usually when I write a poem, I need two lines. Once I've got the first two lines, the rest, it just sort of constructs itself. Um, when it comes to writing poetry, I think I mentioned in my first video that it amazes me sometimes, because honestly, like, it's not something that I thought of that I would ever do, writing poetry. And it is also, I feel like it comes from a place beyond me as well. Like, for example, it does feel like I am in tune with a higher force, a higher power. And that is why I don't like to say that it's within my capabilities to write poetry. Or I think with any sort of creative or any artistic motions, one does have to be in tune with something that is greater than themselves. So I don't like to credit myself for the poems. I like to credit God, honestly, because I feel very blessed. I feel very grateful that I have the opportunity to write poetry. I feel very grateful that my poetry can connect to people on a very deep level. And I've got one poem which I will release one day, but it's talking about how I feel, how every day I feel like I won the lottery because I have the ability to write poetry. So just to continue with the story, so from there, I've written the poem and then I've got to work, and there was where I was sat, there was three people sat around me, and I asked them all, "Is this all you want from life? Is this all you want to do?" And the people that they all had ideas. I think everybody has an idea of what they would like to do in life, but then the life situation might lead them to another direction. And then one of them, he told me his idea, his plan, and which is, I believe it was something to really help people. And I encouraged him. I said, yes, I hope you do. I hope you do that one day. And the second person asked me, what do you want to do? And I said, I want to make get my poetry out into the world in video format. And then she said to me, she said, why are you not doing it? Are you scared of what people will say? And then I said yes. And that was the first time I openly and publicly admitted that I am indeed scared and fearful of the opinions of people when I do begin to get my poetry out into the world. So that's the story. That's the story behind the first poem. And you see, it's the little things. It can be little things like that that help us overcome our fears. Sometimes it's as easy as just admitting something. When you are aware of an insecurity, of a fear within you, once you verbalize it, once you are able to release that energy, then it is like a form of letting go. it's like you've let go of whatever you were holding within. And it's like holding on. It's like you maybe have heard the parable of holding on to a glass of I think is it a glass of water. The longer you hold on to it, the heavier it gets. And the same for the things that we have inside of us. The longer that we hold on to them, the heavier they do get. So that was the first time I publicly admitted and openly admitted that yes, I am scared. I am worried about what people will say. And then I think that was in April of this year, and then now we're at the start of September, 5 months. Life is a very slow process as well. I would like everybody to remember that life is a very slow process. If we do live a full life, we are here for a long time, but sometimes it can seem like life is going by. But as long as you have the intention of growing as an individual, growing as a human being, then I believe everything will just set itself in motion. But do bear in mind, life is a very slow process. It took me 4 months from admitting that, yes, I am scared of what people will say, to actually taking the first step and making my first video, which I released on YouTube. So that's the story behind the task. And yeah, just to discuss the poem a little. So I am essentially talking about purpose, and I feel very deeply within me that my purpose is to write poetry. That may change in the future. In the future, God may set me on a different path. But my current path, I can feel it in my heart, is to write poetry and just to continue sharing it with with the world. And one of the reasons that I am very glad and I feel very privileged to be in this position that I am able to share this, because a lot of people have reached out to me they connect with me on a deep level, because like I mentioned, the brother at the start, there's a few other people who have mentioned to me there is something that they want to do, and that is something that's holding them back. It can be themselves, it can be something external. But life truly begins when you can overcome your fears. It truly begins when you can be brave enough to take the first step in whatever it is that you need to do. And that is when we feel alive. Since I've released my first YouTube video, I have been feeling more alive in general. It's given me a direction in life. It's given me a very clear purpose in life. And I'm not doing this for monetary gain or for status. I am doing this because this is something that is very deep within me, and it has a right to express itself. And the same applies to you. If you have something very deep within you that has been with you for a while, whatever it is, doesn't matter what it is. If it's something within you, get it out into the world. And like with me sharing my story, it's allowed me to connect with people and to hopefully, I hope, help people. You sharing your story, you sharing whatever you need to get out into the world, it may do the same. And we have to remember, we are in a sea. We are individuals in a sea of humanity. And the way that the world is, we forget that life is about people. People are the most important thing. People are the most important aspect of life. And I feel like helping one another is what truly gives us joy, fulfillment, satisfaction, is just to say I helped another human being. So yeah, this is just to if anyone needs the encouragement to take the first step in whatever it is you need to do it. You may be the vehicle for another soul to express themselves. Just bear that in mind. You may have been assigned the task to do whatever it is you need to do, which will allow another soul to come forth and reveal themselves. Yeah. So thank you very much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to try not to make my videos too long. The first video I did was half an hour, and I'll be honest, it's very rare I sit myself. It's it's very rare that I will sit myself through a half an hour video. So I'm not sure how long this one has gone on for. But I hope you enjoyed it, and if you made it to the end, thank you very much. Thank you very much for your time, your energy, your attention, and I hope that I hope everything is going well for you. And if it isn't, it will. Do not worry about it. It will. Things do always get better. And yeah, thank you very much for listening to me and watching my video. Take care.